Ms. Dickerson, thank you for spending a little time with us. First off, what year did you graduate from Velma, and what have you been up to over the years?
I graduated in '94, and I went to college, and then medical school and residency, and I've been practicing medicine in Edmond since then.
Growing up, did you want to become an imaging physician?
No, I wanted to be a number of different things growing up, and physician wasn't one of them I even considered, maybe until late high school, but I went to college thinking I was either going to coach or go to med school, and coaching seemed too hard, so I went to med school.
Where did you attend college?
I went to Northeastern State in Tahlequah.
What are some of your fondest memories at Velma?
Mr. Spigner told me this was going to be a question, and I tried to think of some that wouldn't implicate your principal in some way and reflect poorly on her, because we did some pretty dumb stuff growing up. So I tried to think of a good one, but really we did a lot of dumb stuff. So one of the things I was thinking about is so our boys played in the state championship game for football when I was a senior, and I drove a Geostorm, which they don't even make anymore, but it's this tiny little hatchback. And as the boys were leaving for the game, we had this huge town pep rally and a parade leading them out of town. And so we shoved the entire basketball team into my hatchback, girls basketball team. So there was somewhere between 13 and 16 girls in that car, hanging out the window in the back of the hatchback and everything. We passed the butt. We acted like a bunch of idiots. And it was just things like that over and over again. And so, I was born and raised in Velma, so every memory I have of childhood is in that town kind of thing. So lots of good ones.
Mrs. Corey said she can beat you in a game of one-on-one. What do you have to say to that?
Oh, that's what I got to say about that. Big laugh. Oh, man, that's fun. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've played basketball, so that sounds like something she'd say, though. I love it. She's probably a much better defensive player than I am. I'll give her that. So,
finally, what is the best advice you have for Comet students?
That was a hard one, too, because I'm old and I've made a lot of mistakes, and that leads to a lot of advice you like to give out to people about how they could do things better. And so I try to narrow it down, and I would think two big ones are don't ever limit yourself because of where you grew up, So I found myself being intimidated a lot of times, these guys went to big 5A, 6A schools, they went to private schools, they had all this education, and, I went and played college basketball, and I held my own against those guys, and I went to medical school, and I held my own there, and I was very surprised at the education that I got at Velma, for instance, so there was one time I was doing this medical mission trip in South Sudan, Africa, and I'm in the middle of a field surrounded by something that looks like National Geographic, and I thought to myself, man, how did a dumb kid from Velma get here? What an experience. And it's just, don't ever limit yourself, because there's absolutely no reason for you to do so. And on the flip side of that, don't forget where you come from, because that community is full of loving, hardworking people that will keep you rooted and humble, and just don't let go of that.
Thank you, Ms. Dickerson, for doing this and Shine On.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.